Hey, welcome back to another episode of Gone EV. We got a special one here for you guys, for you car enthusiasts. Shout out to Bo in the back. He's watching his YouTube TV. We got our man Lenny Sand.
What's going on?
Lenny, what's up, brother?
How you been?
Oh, I'm good. I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah. You know, and it's the greatest thing is, I haven't seen a friend in a while. He called yesterday, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing. Is that 15 years we got a lot to catch up on." So,
Yeah.
You know, we've all been developing since that point.
So let's talk about your personal life. So you have a son?
Yeah. Well,
What's your son's name?
Yeah, he's 5 years old. His name's Leo.
Okay.
I got a daughter, Sophia. She's 7.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
So.
What are they into? So what is daddy duties like?
Well, daddy's duties is to make sure that there's a house, food, and a mommy there to take care of everything.
100%.
So, I'm always at the house. Sundays I get with the family. That's family day.
That's
and
good.
Most importantly is that they can see their father doing what is meant to be done in the household. So the idea, of course, essentially is to show your son how to treat a woman and what is necessary as on the other end, the wife or the woman in your life is to show the lady how a woman should be treated. So you need to treat your woman identically. So
Well said.
and that's not me essentially if you knew me 20 years ago, but that's me
Right.
developing the last 6 to 8 years. Yeah.
I think we're a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday or 10, 15, 20 years ago.
It's the goal. Every
Right.
day we want to be
Better
better
than
our best, right?
Yes. Better than the day before.
Yeah.
So tell us about your business. So another episode of Embrace, Encourage Entrepreneurship. He's got a hell of a business going on, so I had to get him on the show. What do you got?
Yeah, so just to kind of give a little introduction, stemming from 20 years in the auto collision repair aspect that we have been developing so far into within our 10th year, got into wheels, considering more at the 2013 stage. Learned a lot about that. Now we, at this point, have been I have been the owner and operator of a successful and exponentially growing wheel repair business in Greenwich, Connecticut, 6 years running at this point, and we keep expanding. So I would, in fair enough, say that we do wheels now, but we had additions during coronavirus with calipers, vinyl, and just recently in the last year, aftermarket wheel sales and tire sales. Also, yeah.
Go ahead.
And lastly, not to interrupt, but the only licensed installer in the tri-state, if I'm correct, for the Alligator product, which is the wheel protector that we do provide to our community.
So how did COVID impact your business, or if at any?
Impact. Such a harsh word. Actually, it helped develop our business. So right at the height of, pretty much the height of Corona, right in February, I got the marketing team that had contacted me that we are working with today, which is called 4 Media. They're out in Atlanta, Georgia. Great guys. They got in with us pretty much at their development during Corona. And right when we were starting to run the ads, they said, "Listen, Lenny, everyone's, pretty much on lockdown. No one's really leaving the house, so it's going to be hard to get those people in." I said, "Listen, I'm at my last couple dollars. Let it ride. If this thing is going to make sense in business, you put every chip in. If you don't know what's going to come." So we did that. I got nothing more to say than on the 3rd month, because there was a lot of teetering up and down. People were home playing with their phones. On the 3rd month, we started going heavy with the booking. So to emphasize a little further on that, Corona was the best thing that happened to my business, because while people were playing with their phones and the algorithm hitting every single time, because the activity on the phone is what's the allowance for people to understand that you're even available, heavy in the marketing scale, dollar-wise, bro, that superseded. We actually took the business and tripled it within the 6th month of marketing. So, power of marketing when the country is down, right? So that's why they say the millionaires will always be making money when all the people are down. So we kind of took advantage of that at a small point.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So what else you got for us?
Many things, bro. I can go on, but I think most importantly is that we do have a mobile unit coming that has been in the works for the last year. Yeah, really kind of bringing some more dynamics. I don't want to say that this is the end all. There's always going to be something new and big to develop into that we can expand. The market is always changing. We're following the market. We do many EV vehicles. We just did a roof wrap on a Lucid.
Oh, nice.
I forget exactly which one, but for that one it was the top tier. The base model did come with a hard top. This one had a glass top. The client did not want the base model because of the features. He came to us. We did a satin silver to match the gloss silver on the side. Came out beautiful. Client was ecstatic. We got it done in 4 hours, and you know, it was a challenge because the front portion of the windshield is not straight or even slightly bowed. It curves in many dimensions, so we had to get that line to be almost identically perfect.
So what inspired this business? Just from being in auto collision service?
The best thing essentially to inspiration was that from the beginning, I'm an artist. I get into cars in the age 18, go to college at 19, blah, 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 fast forward. Get into auto body, do that, really like it, teetering in and out of jobs, get this really cool position with a corporation. I got the position stemming from my last position at Lord & Taylor selling ladies' shoes, because the position wasn't just the idea of doing the repairs, but the position was also in sales, which I was completely unaware of. So you get the job, blah, 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 blah. Finger was pointed at a box truck, said, Lenny, you can work in the shop, or you can get that pay, or go to this box truck. And in this box truck, you can make any value that you want. First 3 months, bro, I was nervous. I'm like, I can't get anyone to fix a freaking wheel. I'm like, who's fixing wheels? Right? So I think that's our biggest failure, is that we never believe anything that can be done. So then once I started getting interest, I started believing, because at that point, whoa, this is really a thing. I literally took that business with a broken route, because the last guy destroyed the route. I actually ended up growing the route within the first 18 months to get another tech on board. 2.5 years later, three techs on board. Now we're looking at something that was pretty much at a dead zero, with 3 vehicles probably producing somewhere around 1.2 mil. Happiest point is to say is that I developed it. So I think the level of inspiration is that someone saw something possibly in me based off of a resume, right? Where this is all chronologically done in the idea of working for corporations. What can you do? Let me see if I can get you to do it here. He did that because I didn't know I had it, but he obviously saw something in me, and I developed. And it's like most corporations, you have to take it one of two ways. You either have to say, hey, they're treating me right. I love what I'm doing here. I'm growing. I like the environment. Let's keep going. There's incrementally ways of developing myself as a person, but not just that financially. Unfortunately, that wasn't a thing for me, because I had to be hands-on still building the business. I had to be hands-on doing the work. It was so overwhelming that at the end of the day, I think what makes the most sense is that if you're putting in that much time in anything you do, you have to reap all the benefits. So at that point, funny to say, right when my son was born, there was some conversation that did not go very well. And I think what ended up happening was that I had an epiphany. And many people in my, that I would see daily in doing repairs would always say, oh, you got to start your own thing. You got to start your own thing. And I think starting my own thing at the forefront was scariest.
Of course.
Nonetheless. But I think what it did is it helped develop me as a person, because we all have that inner truth, and until we can see the unknown, we'll never know what we're worth.
That's exactly right.
So I took the leap of faith, and the first 18 months, bro, I didn't even see my family. I pretty much slept in a box truck. It was very humbling, though. Yeah. You know, and let's be realistic. You think I was all peachy keen and this is fun? Nah, there's many days I would cry. You know, it is what it is. So got out the darkness, and now I'm here with you having this great conversation with 3 years in developing a brick and mortar.
It's always darkest before dawn.
Oh yeah.
So part of the whole inspiration for the YouTube channel is, like I always say, getting out of my comfort zone. It's not easy to talk in front of a camera. It's not easy to talk to yourself if you're alone. You know what I mean? And driving.
Affirmations, yes.
You know what I mean?
Like the biggest boosters.
And I think just by doing this, however many views it gets, for me, it's me telling myself there isn't anything I can't do, because this is scary enough as it is for me, and I'm now kind of feeling a little bit more comfortable. I even think that my shows, my episodes are getting better because I feel comfort, in front of a camera. And same thing with, starting a business. You're nervous. You're like, you're always thinking of failure, but you don't think of what could happen once you've succeeded.
Well, the first couple months is fun because it's, anything new in life is exciting. You meet, I'm sure, the woman you're with today, you can say, wow, right? They say like the honeymoon stage, the first year.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the most fun because you're learning. It's new. You're developing. You're triggering certain neurons in your brain that have probably been dormant for a very long time. You know, you look for that dopamine hit. How much more can I keep doing? And that's why businesses fail so soon, is because the honeymoon stage ends, and then you want something new again. So I think that's where we're at, is that we have to keep developing, right? We woke up today.
Yeah.
You got no option. You have to keep growing, because then as we diminish our intent in life, you know, things get depressing, right? They're saying right now we are now living in the highest level of adult depression, where it's superseded beyond 50%. You know, it's can't even say 1-to-1. I think it's beyond that. There's more people that are depressed than are not depressed.
So what's your opinion on EVs? Good, bad, or indifferent?
Okay, I'm very happy that you bring that up now, because I mean, I can go on with the last topic, but this one I can really elaborate tightly. Is that, you know, EVs are great to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of the processing out of fossil fuels, although, you know, unless you know that what it takes to get to the cobalt to produce these batteries is still not at the extent of environmentally safe.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say that it is way more efficient. So for productivity and lifestyle, once again, something new, brings a new life to the whole market. Yes, this is nice. And I'll explain this because I saw this morning. Ferrari denies to becoming ever a part of the EV market, so staying combustion engines, which is true to their name. So if you understand Ferrari, then you understand why. Teslas are great. You know, we are now getting some of these older ones, dated close to 10 years, if not older. We are seeing something, because we do use service mode in these vehicles. It does help the vehicle just be at a calm state. It doesn't aggravate the customer or the owner of the vehicle, best said, to get all these faults, which is usually, it's just the safety value of the car, always throwing prompts at the vehicle. We're going to be walking around the car jacking it up. The client doesn't need to know all about this.
Right.
So there was one of them. It was a Model S. Be consistent. We had 2 Model S's in it at this time, and I put it in service mode, and like the whole main frame just went black. It took about 30 minutes to get everything back running properly, but you know, that's the thing where it's still based on the vehicle being dated, you know, from the 90s, let's say. It's still turnkey. Nothing wrong with it. You know, getting into the idea of the more newer vehicles, like you said, the park features and stuff, you know, minute things like that. But let's say if something on the mainframe shuts down, it's all electric, bro.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this, just being within the aspect of not just where we're at today with EV, but I was in a Cadillac XLR. We're dating back 2005, and I had to get out the car. Bro, the battery died. It was a push button to open the door. I was stuck in the car for 30 minutes until someone walked by the car.
Wow.
So, you know, not just delegating the fact that the vehicle runs on, you know, a battery for electricity, but the idea of the functionality of these vehicles. I think that's where we really have to be more efficient. So, I mean, the car can run on a battery, but, you know, delegating things to run properly, let's say, can be very scary.
I think I'm as sold as I am with the EV. I'm actually might be more sold for, not for my personal life, but if someone were to ask, I think I would encourage more a hybrid car, because I have a hybrid Rubicon now.
Yep.
And if you're you live in Stanford, your business is in Greenwich, it's a standard commute. If someone has a standard commute from point A to point B and back to point A, hybrid's the way to go.
100%.
Because the majority of that time you'll be in electric mode and not touching an ounce of gas.
Yeah, and you're probably going to be extending like I have. It would have been great if I had my F-150 today, but I don't. But my 2001 F-150, I'm lucky in that vehicle to get running on a V8, of course, 220 on a full tank.
Mm-hmm.
Or if that was a hybrid vehicle, let's say, just to extend that, we're going well over 300, probably close to 400. We could almost double that.
We did 750 miles to 1 tank of gas.
Yeah.
53 miles per gallon.
Yeah, see, so that's
insane.
And those are real numbers. So that's, I think, yeah, you know what? Sum it up right now. We go hybrid. I think essentially what we do is we get out of the market to be dedicated just electric, dedicated just gas. We can marry them both. We can keep the emissions down based off of that.
Right.
Still have light servicing. We don't want to get rid of technicians, right? We don't want to convert all these technicians either. That's very difficult to do sometimes. So I think, yeah, fair enough to say. Or we can just go to natural gas.
That too, or hydrogen.
Yeah, yeah.
Hydrogen's, I think, the way Ford is going down the road. I don't know how soon, but that's what I'm hearing from someone I spoke to who actually works out of Dearborn, Michigan for
wow.
Ford. Yeah,
So they would go first.
They're already working on a hydrogen vehicle, maybe 2035-ish.
Prototype or like production?
Yeah, like well, I mean, they're working it out now. The dude's like a physicist, like.
Oh wow.
And I was like, wow, it's really intriguing.
Yeah, it's a nice thing. I think her name is Supercar Blonde. If you've seen her.
Yes.
Yeah. So she there's one episode, bro. I don't Experion or something. I forget what it was called, and it was a fully hydrogen supercar.
Wow.
Thing sounds like it's a jet, right? It is amazing. Probably a one-off car. It is amazing how far you can travel just off of one fill up. It's amazing, dude. It's like it doesn't even burn it.
What do you say we take a ride to the shop and show us what you got going on?
Yeah, we got some cool stuff right now. So
Fantastic. Stay tuned. Here we are. Pro finish wheels. So show us what we got here.
All right, so what you're looking at there, if you go to the orange wheel,
Yep.
when we pan back a little bit, this is what is called a Goonie wheel. This is a universal wheel in the aspect of a 4.5 lug or a 5.6 lug setup, to where we can actively keep the car rolling without it being down on jack stands.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really.
I understand. I see that now, where you could just put it in different slots.
We have not. We've had it on Rivians. We've had them on numerous Teslas. They fit great on Teslas.
So is this one already painted, or?
Yes. So this is the wheel that, panning back from the orange wheel. This is the wheel that we did for a client. It's the color itself is actually called white gold, but this is considering with the frosted look, a frozen gold color. This is just to mimic that original design that is provided through BMW. And it's going on this black BMW, so it'll be a nice look.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's the address here?
So we are at 12 Livingston Place in Greenwich.
12 Livingston Place, right near Ferrari, right across the street from Ferrari.
Yeah, just to be exact, right behind the McLaren dealership where they park the Ferraris. Yeah.
Okay.
It's our little work area there.
Yep. Old school Bronco. Lenny, appreciate you coming.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thanks for inviting us over. All right, stay tuned. If you need some wheels done, reach out to Lenny.
All the time.
Later.